Hello everyone and welcome to Insidebikes, and you join us here at the Isle of Man, ready almost for TT 2024. We're a couple of weeks out, the island's really starting to transform. Paul, it's set to be a great year, isn't it?
Yeah, last year was amazing, such an exciting year, and as you say, they're in the process of building up. You hear the signs going up, the trees being cut. It is such a transformation from this idyllic little island to this centre of the motorcycle racing world for a fortnight. For our show today, we've been speaking to loads of riders, and the first one we've been speaking to is a man who knows what the TT means to this island. Conor Cummins, one of the top Manxmen on the track. Everyone really wants him to get on the podium this year. Here's what I had to say. Conor, thanks for joining us. Almost TT time, and I imagine as a Manxman, it's a really special time of year. What does it mean to the locals when the TT comes to town?
It means the world for quite a lot of the locals. I think every local on the Isle of Man in some way, shape or form gets behind it. But for the Isle of Man, I always say that the island grows out of the water every time it comes round. The island stands proud, and I'm very proud to be from the Isle of Man and riding at my home event.
And when you were growing up, was it always something that you wanted to do to race the TT?
I think as a child, I thought I'd love to be a TT racer because I lived a stone's throw from the circuit and used to watch every practice. But it wasn't until I got into my late teens where I thought I really wouldn't mind having a go at the TT. So I turned 20 in May and in 2006, and that's when I did my first TT.
What's been the highlight since then?
Well, I'm still chasing a bit of a highlight, if I'm honest, but I think getting in my first TT podium in 2009 was an achievement for myself as a local as well. That was quite a unique experience, but I've been chasing that win since. And
you're racing with Paget's, one of the most iconic teams at TT. What does it mean to be part of that family?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great honour. They've won countless TTs with a lot of riders, the vast majority on the back of my t-shirt, I think. No, I think it's such a special family. They've put an awful lot into motorcycle racing in general, motorcycling in general as well. Very lucky to be part of a good team, and I'd like to repay them for all the effort with some good results.
And what's your preparation been coming into the TT?
Preparations entailed lots of training, and we've done quite a bit of testing, more so than in previous years, so I think we're in good shape. I'm not saying anything more than that really. We're well prepared, and as we always are, and I'll just give gas on the day.
The fascinating thing about the Isle of Man TT races is not just the bikes and the racing, it's the human interest story that almost every rider brings with them. And no human interest story is bigger this year than the comeback of one of the greatest TT racers of all time. Ian Hutchinson, the only man to have won 5 TTs in 1 week, suffered a stroke. He's back, he's racing, and he's been speaking to Andrew to tell us all what his ambitions are for the year.
So Ian, it's fantastic to have you back on the Isle of Man for TT 2024. How's your recovery been, and how excited are you to be racing here again for the 2024 TT?
Yeah, a little bit different recovery-wise to what normally is going on when I have an injury. There's not that much of things that you can do from a stroke, I suppose. The sort of main thing that I had was that I lost my speech, so I had to get my speech back. But apart from that, it's just been a normal sort of year, just doing what I normally do.
So you're back with Paget's for 2024. You've had so much success with that team in the past. How good is it to be back with Clive and the team?
Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, I knew exactly why I wanted to go back there because I know where Clive's at with the bikes. He knows exactly where they need to be in the ballpark of stuff. And the biggest thing for me at the moment is to get time on a bike. I didn't want to be coming in and changing stuff, and I just wanted to go out and ride the bike, and that's what's happened really. We've done a lot of time on the bike. I spoke to Clive towards the back end of last year, and there was a bit of him wanting to understand whether I was ready to race again, and he wanted to see me on a bike and stuff. So we went out to Almeria in December, and I got a day on the bike there, and that was where it was all sort of looked fairly positive and that everything should be all right.
Is there anything in kind of the back of your mind where you're kind of looking position-wise, or is it just a complete kind of reset and see where you're at?
Yeah, like I said, I've won 16 TTs, so there's never going to be a position that's I'm going to be happy with other than winning again, even a podium. But obviously a podium is nice for the sponsors and stuff, and you know, it would always be nice to know that you're somewhere at the front. But what I need to understand more is my sort of lap times compared to everyone else.
You're already a legend in TT history. What's your motivation for coming back again?
When everything's going well, it's an amazing place to be riding. So I've missed a lot of years of when it could have been going well. So I think if I'd never missed a year, I might have not wanted to come anymore because I'd have had enough, you know. I don't know, it's hard to know, isn't it? But I just want to get back to when it's a good feeling again.
So finally, what would success look like to you in TT 2024?
The gap to the winners, you know, the top guys, know that in another year I'll be able to bridge that gap. I can't really honestly see that I'll be in a position to be coming back and sort of fighting for a win from everything that's happened. It's 7 years since the last time I was competitive is a long time, but you can never say never. I've come back from injuries before and had good results, and I don't want to put the pressure on myself that I end up going backwards throughout the TT because it's not where I want to be, basically. So that's why I think even the races are going to be like practice sessions for me, just to keep building on it and going a little bit faster than I went the day before. And yeah, that's all I can do, really.
TT 2023 was dominated by two men, with Peter Hickman and Michael Dunlop sharing the wins between them. Kawasaki's Dean Harrison was there every step of the way, but for this year he's changed to factory Honda and he's hoping to go one step better and stand on the top step of the podium. Paul's been speaking to him. Here's what he had to say.
Dean, thanks for joining us.
No problem.
TT24, just around the corner. Feels like a big year for you.
Every year's a big year at the TT, to be honest. It's obviously the biggest event of the year for us, and sat here now looking at the start line, actually quite excited to get going, to be fair.
And it's not just TT you're doing quite a lot of other stuff as well. You're doing short circuits.
Yeah, exactly. In the British Superbike Championship, the Northwest, the TT. You need to be doing it now, I think. You've got to be racing somewhere to keep you sharp, and you want to be competitive everywhere you go, don't you? So I think just riding all year round is if everyone else is doing it, almost if you're not, you feel left out.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like you and Michael and Hickey are really sort of pushing things here. I mean, do you feel that you need each other to sort of push yourself on?
I don't really know, really, because obviously the Isle of Man yourself by yourself, you ride, you're against the clock. You're not, racing sort of wheel to wheel with somebody, so it's more of a self-control thing. It's up to you to how fast you want to go.
I mean, I think, speaking as a fan, a big part of the attraction is that it's like ordinary blokes doing extraordinary things. Do you guys ever sit down for a pint and go, wow, I can't believe we're doing this?
All the time.
Yeah.
I sit down all the time and find everything quite surreal at times. It's just mind-blowing, to be honest.
Do you have to put in the homework between, I mean, are you analysing what you did last year and what your competitors are doing? Are you just turn up and see what happens?
No, I'm always looking at what's going on and how I can improve, and always trying to think one step ahead almost, and just try to be, I don't know, just pretty savvy about the whole job, really, because it's so difficult. I can't explain to you how difficult it is to race around this place. It's mind-blowing, to be honest, but we wouldn't do it if we didn't love it.
Big news over the winter, obviously, is you've moved teams, moved manufacturers.
Yeah, we've joined the Honda racing squad now.
And obviously Honda is massive. It's one of, if not the most successful brand. Does that bring extra pressure to you this year?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about the pressure side of things yet. I probably will do when all the trucks arrive and things like that. But no, at the minute I'm trying to be as relaxed as possible, and I think the more relaxed you am, the better I'll ride. So,
I mean, obviously you guys have really pushed the envelope the last couple of years, and it feels like the TT is in a different place to where it was maybe 10 years ago in terms of its popularity and the way people are engaging with the sport. Do you feel that the TT's gone on a journey in the time that you've been there? Massively, yeah, but all only in positive ways. I think the way the whole team's pushed the TT is fantastic for bigger audiences. The way the races are, the event as a whole, I feel has been brought up, which is, I think it's great to see, to be honest, because if you ask me, it's the greatest spectacle in the world. And you're obviously not just a TT racer, you're a TT fan as well. And I mean, you grew up around here.
Exactly, yeah. I remember I'm getting on my little scooter or going out uphill watching places when I didn't even race a bike here. I've been here every year since 1993. The only times I've ever missed the TT is foot and mouth and COVID. Apart from that, I've been here every year since 93, so I've never missed one. And obviously, I love the place so much. I now live just up the road.
I mean, yeah, that's the living in the Isle of Man. I mean, does that bring extra pressure? Do you go down to shops and you're mobbed as a superstar? Or
No, not at all. No, it don't bring. It makes me feel a bit more relaxed, really, because the island's way of life is probably a little bit more relaxed than where I did live. So I think it'll make me better, to be honest. Yeah.
And I guess during TT fortnight, you'll be able to just go home and go in your own bed and enjoy a home life.
There's no place like your own bed, is there?
So that's it. Time for the talking to end and the racing to start.
Yeah, we're only sort of a couple of weeks out now from TT race fortnight, and yeah, just can't wait to be back here for when the racing starts.
Great to speak to riders. Love speaking to Conor. He's such a nice lad. Locals love him. He'd love a win, but certainly another podium.
It was an absolute pleasure to talk to Hutchie as well, just knowing that he's going to be back on the grid for 2024. The fans can't wait to see him back, and yeah, he's super excited.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's going to be talking about the big two, Dunlop and Hickey. But actually, speaking to Dean, he's the guy that could break them. Honda, desperate for a win. And you know what? He's playing it down a little bit, but if anyone can, Dean can.
Yeah, he could be the man, but we cannot wait to come back and watch it all unfold at TT 2024. Paul, it's been great to be here.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure as always. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. See you next time.
Thank you.